Hi, everyone. Welcome to our launch party. I am here in person. You know that this is recorded, obviously, because Pam is not at my home. But this is the first guest of our launch party, and I'm so excited to introduce you to her and to share our journey together and just give you some information on how we've impacted each other's lives and how much we love each other and how much it continues to be an enriching relationship for the two of us. We'll try to look at you, and we'll tend to look at each other probably every once in a while, but I just want you to know that I am so grateful that you're here and learning a little bit about the people who have really impacted my life. And this woman here has been in my life for quite a while now, right? We're looking at 15, 16, 17 years, roughly. So we met at Colby Sawyer College, and we are actually in New London right now. So if you saw the tour card, you know that I'll be coming here, and this is Pam, and she's hosting a reception. So if you're in this area, but Pam was my boss, so my supervisor at Colby Sawyer, and we worked in the fitness center. And we just had the best time, so much fun doing group exercise classes and working with a series of the community and also the athletes and also just the college students. And one of the things, though, that I think is so important about this particular relationship for me is the growth that she has kind of witnessed in my life, and then also how we've impacted each other's, just way of being, and how we're kind of showing up in the world with each other versus the way we may have shown up in the world if we hadn't met. So I'm gonna just have Pam share a little bit about our journey together and a little bit about her, and then I'll ask her another question that I think you will all find very fascinating. About something that she's done that really inspired me to take hold of, our lives, as opposed to letting them happen to us, stepping in and creating them for ourselves. So why don't you share a little bit about you and us? And yeah.
Well, I have to share that the first time I met Anne was an interview, obviously. And I was searching for another fitness professional and to join our staff. And at this point, there had been 3 men and me. And so I was so excited to have a woman come on board. And we hit it off right away. We laughed. And our crew was quite funny anyway. So she just added a bit of joy to our crew. But the clincher for me, she's gonna hate that I share this story.
It's okay.
Do you know where I'm going?
Yeah, I probably do. Yeah.
Is after the interview, there were 4 of us, and the 2 guys and myself and Anne went out to lunch, and we're looking at the menu. And I said, "So what are you gonna have?" And she's like, "Well, I think I'm gonna have a Tijuana and a quesadilla." And I said, "A Tijuana quesadilla?" And it was a
Tijuana.
It was a Tijuana quesadilla. And I knew right then that we were gonna hire this woman. I didn't know what she knew about fitness or exercise, but I knew we were gonna have a grand old time.
And we did.
And we started off right there, and we never stopped.
Yeah.
It was hysterical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our job there entailed all kinds of adventures, and one of my favorite memories, and I think one of our favorite memories, if you know about this joy piece, in our life, is we are kind of looking for joy. I don't think I knew it at the time, but I didn't realize how special that particular work atmosphere was until I left, because we had so much fun. We were very professional. We, did our jobs. We knew what we were doing. We were extremely well educated. And, I think we did a really good job of what we were doing. And we had a lot of fun. And so every Halloween, Pam and I would figure out what we were going to be and who we were going to dress up as. And we were aerobics instructors from the 80s.
Right.
We were cowboys. We were
Bikers.
bikers. Yeah. So we just had a grand old time with those kind of things, and it really lightened the atmosphere. So I think that there was a little bit of that happened. And then Pam and I also both went through some really hard times
Mhm.
together, and realizing that our friendship was much more than a work relationship. So when if you've read the book, you know that I struggled when I was at Colby Sawyer, when I was a fitness professional, and had basically dropped back into my eating disorder. And Pam was the one that sent me a note and said, you need help. And so, I credit her for really pushing the envelope for me to say, this is not the path that I want to be on. And do you remember that?
Mhm.
Yeah. So go ahead if you want to.
Well, I have a past also of disordered eating. So I was witnessing a lot of behaviors that I was very familiar with. And I had worked through them. And I saw Anne as this beautiful soul, but with this hole that she was trying to fill. And I recognized some of the signs because I had lived through them myself. So I just had such a love for her that I wanted to reach out and say, there's so much more to life than getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning and finding our way into the gym. I mean, we both did that occasionally. But it was like, that was a drive that I knew where it led. I knew it led to destruction. And so it was a big step for me because we had this relationship that was beautiful, and I didn't want it to interfere in that at all. I didn't want her to take offense, to feel hurt, to shut me out, but I knew I needed to do that. So,
and it was because of that I knew it came from her heart. I knew it wasn't for anything other than that, and that's one of the reasons that our relationship is so strong, because we have this kind of underlying understanding of it all. So I so just thank you for that, and for, I kept that card because I think that was an impactful switch that helped me seek help. So thank you, and we won't cry, but another thing that Pam taught me was to step into adventure. And she has a love of travel. And so she went to, there's 2 trips that I think are fascinating, and I'll let you pick which one you want to share a little bit about. But one was for one of her birthdays, she went, no, I think this was, I'm going to not use that one, but you went to Italy for a month, right? To really kind of immerse herself in the culture, to learn the language more. She has some heredity there. And so that was one that, and then she just, it was a magical period of time, and it was a healing period of time for you.
So. Yeah.
And then the other one was her trip on the Camino. And is that the way you share it? And if you want to, because that was a fascinating trip for you, and another healing trip for you, and one that just I think opened your eyes and back into your soul, and brought you kind of into a little transition.
They both were that way, Yeah. In the Italy trip, we both actually lived in this house on campus for a period of years, and lived there 1 year, and I lived there the following year as we were going through our divorces. So the house itself was a very healing house, but I knew for that point, I needed to step out into finding out who I was on my own as a solo person for the first time in 27 years. And so I took a trip to Italy. I'll just tell you briefly about that. I went for a month. I picked a tiny little town that had a tiny little Italian English school. Nobody spoke English. I spoke very little Italian, but it was the biggest growth and the biggest step for me to just step into that unknown. And I came back a different person from that trip. Fast forward, not very fast forward, but 4 years later, another transition in my life where we had a restaurant. We closed that down. It was where I found a lot of my identity. And I knew that I needed to step out into finding who I was apart from my son or my ex-husband or my job or my restaurant or my exercise. And so I took a trip on the Camino de Santiago, and I chose to do that solo, by myself again. And just, I could talk for hours on that, but basically in the first 3 days, I realized that if I didn't step out, I'm a caretaker. And I found myself taking care of everybody and their blisters and their packs and their aches and their drinking and their water. And I found out in the first 3 days that if I continue that way, it would not be my journey. It would be a journey for other people. And so I set out on my own, and that was hard because it was very social, but I chose to I met people, but I wasn't connected to people. And all on that journey, I was looking for the answer to what I was gonna do when I got home and when I was finished, and where I would live and what I would work at, and just all of these things. And right at the middle of the journey, a very important part of the journey, it's called the Cruciferous, where you lay down your rocks of things you've been carrying, literally, that I've been carrying in my backpack from home. I laid down my rocks, and I had this epiphany of that I already had what I was looking for, that I didn't need to find it, that it was all within me. And that if I spent my journey looking to the end of the journey for what I found, I would miss the journey. And right there, I just realized I needed to be present in each step. And it was hard. It was challenging. It was fearful a lot of times. The days were hard, and 25, 30 miles a day with a pack, getting lost. But here I am. So I guess I found my way. And again, it was very pivotal for me.
Yeah. And that I love just to kind of shine a light on, you have everything within you, and this journey for me, through working with Pam and also through my own, healing with therapists and all of that, is realizing that we have what we need all along. It's all inside of us. And writing the book was part of that journey for me too. It was very healing, really different types of journeys, but everybody, if they can pause long enough to be in their journey,
right,
versus watching their journey or searching for something outside their journey, looking externally for really what's internal. That's what this relationship is all about, and really being there for each other. We cannot talk for periods of time and then just get together and it's like no time has passed, and that's when you have a real true friend. So thank you. And why don't you share just a little bit about what you're doing now, and so if people want to connect with you about the Camino or about anything else, they know who you are and they can connect through me.
Well, I'm kind of on another journey, another transition. I do a lot of relief work with different Christian organizations, and I'm at a point now where I have a lot of time on my hand, and I'm finding that my next step is learning actually what rest looks like, and not having an agenda. And so I really don't have an agenda of the next couple of months, which is frightening for me. I will say that my passion and my love is working with older people in fitness, and I know I will get back to that. These last 18 months or so have kind of put a damper on the fitness industry, especially when you work with 80 and 90-year-olds. You can't really Zoom them, because they don't know how to Zoom, and B, it's frightening to watch them do an exercise and fall and you can't do anything about it. So I've chosen not to do that, but just to take a little bit of time, step back, rest, and listen to God's voice and where I'm going next. I may be taking a long road trip in the winter. I'm not fond of the cold, so I'm in search of warmth for the winter, but I'm not really sure what that looks like right now.
That's such a great piece, that rest, because we're in industry. We were in an fitness industry, but also we're in a society that is full of go faster, harder, more, get there first, leave last. And rest is something that people don't know about. So it is scary and it's necessary.
Right.
Yeah. So this is our first interview. I hope you stay and watch so many more people. And we're going to have some girl time, and we're excited about that tonight, and having, just a little bit of relaxation, because we need friends, right?
Yes,
and
we
we
do.
need connection, and we've missed that over the past few months. I mean, more than that, year and whatever. So find your people and tell them you love them.
And read her book, because it's amazing.
And order the book if you haven't ordered it already. So, all right, that is all for this interview. Hang around. We've got more fun coming up. So see you soon.
Bye.